Hey, what's up, nerds? It's Paul here at Radio Free Hammer Hall, and it has been a while. I have not really been making much content lately. Um, I've still been kind of haunting social media as I usually do. Um, but yeah, not really on YouTube lately. And I mean, there's a variety of reasons for that. Um, Life's just been a little crazy. Um, I just finished up my master's degree this semester and had kind of a heavy course load. Um, just stuff with having two kids is, you know, fills time and makes things inconvenient. And, when they go to bed, you just kind of want to zone out on the couch and not do anything. And making a YouTube video is like not your priority anymore. Um, and then I got COVID in there, so that was fun. Thankfully, I didn't get it that bad. Nobody else in my family got it that bad. The worst part of it is that all four of us were sick at the same time, and everybody was stuck in the house and cranky and not feeling good. And, my wife and I had to like adult anyway, and it sucked. Um, and then following right up behind that, I had a really bad bout with like seasonal allergies that turned into a pretty bad sinus infection, which by the way was definitely worse than COVID was. Um, I don't mean to sound like I'm like downplaying COVID. Like my particular experience with COVID was that it wasn't super bad. And then I got like a really bad sinus infection right on the heels of it, just reinforcing how not super bad my case of COVID was. Um, so on the Warhammer side, I actually haven't really even been doing that much in the world of Warhammer either. In the last few months, I have not played a lot of games. Just haven't really had a good chance to like get out very much. Kids have been having activities on my usual Warhammer night, so that's kind of encroached a little bit on my ability to get out in game. Um, I haven't been painting as much as I'd like to. I definitely need to get more on top of that. My Slaves to Darkness army is almost done. Um, I'm really kind of at like finishing touches on the painting side of it, and then I need to do bases for a large part of the army, and it's over 5,000 points, and almost none of it has bases done on it. So that could potentially take a while. Um, I have been wanting to do a video revisiting Nurgle now that it's been out for a few months and we've seen how it's performed. So I think that is going to be forthcoming sometime soon. I just have to, that's going to be a video that's going to be like an hour or two long to, really deep dive into the book and look at everything that's going on there. I think it's a really, really good book. And it's a lot better than I think all of the initial impressions were. And it's going to continue. I think it's going to be kind of a spoiler army in a lot of ways, and it's certainly going to take its share of events. Um, my Nurgle army is basically done at this point. Like, there's really not too much more I see myself buying there. I only own one Beast of Nurgle though, and um, the Beast of Nurgle build seems to be popular, powerful, and I kind of like it. So I might proxy it up and try it out before investing in Beasts of Nurgle because those are a little on the expensive side for what they are. Um, but yeah, that's kind of what's going on hobby wise. I am. I have another project lined up for when I get my Slaves to Darkness done. And that is finally starting a long awaited Iron Jaws army. I've got ideas in place. I've got paints and materials purchased. I've got almost 2,000 points of models purchased. Definitely going to go uh, quite a bit more than that. But, you know, it's a good start because it's going to be uh, probably a long painting project, a long hobby project. So that's going to be my next all consuming task. Um, I have some ideas that I really like for basing and paint scheme on that. So I think it's going to be really cool. I don't like putting armies on the table that are not painted. So this is kind of like a off in the future project. Um, Not going to actually get the army on the table for a while. And so that's part of the reason why I'm a little bit reserved in my purchases right now. We've got a general's handbook coming not that long from now that's going to be changing points. And I have a strong feeling that there's going to be some decent changes to Iron Jaws because the internal balance of the book is kind of out of whack. Like, pigs are just better than everything, and that's not how it should be. So, and maw crushes are very, very good. So, I'm expecting some changes to those things. So, I am buying conservatively right now with the expectation that there's going to be some points changes. And in the new General's Handbook, they're talking about there being a more infantry focus. So, maybe our boys are going to be better than they were before. Um, so we'll see. I also have been really kind of um, shying away from match play. It's still sort of like a thing that's just there. You know, RTTs are a great excuse to go play 3 games of Warhammer in a day, and you know they're going to be running your standard match play battle pack out of the General's Handbook, and that's fine. So I got to keep that kind of in the back of my head when I'm doing that. Otherwise, I've been getting more into narrative play and into open play, I guess, technically. Big fan of the open war generators. Those are a lot of fun. The other thing that came out since I have last talked to all of you is the Thondia book, which I am a huge fan of. I love everything in there. I am actually next weekend. I am hosting a mega battle and barbecue at my house. We're gonna set up a couple of tables and stick them together in the backyard, and it looks like right now we've got somewhere in the neighborhood of like 5 to 7 players that are all going to be playing one giant Triumph and Treachery game with a whole bunch of rules taken out of Thondia and some special stuff that is out there. I am going to try to. I don't think I could actually do like a battle report because the design of the thing is that we are going to basically play Warhammer all day and drink and eat barbecue and hang out. And it's really more of an excuse to get together with a bunch of Warhammer friends and be silly than it is to like have like a really serious game. Like, just to give you an idea of like the ballpark of nonsense, I wrote like an actual pack for this, and everybody's bringing 3,000 point armies. Um, we're going to be putting together 2 tables, so it's either going to be 4 by 12 or 8 by 6, depending on how we decide to put the tables together. Um, so it's going to be real big, and then we're going to be using the I forget the rule in Thondia, but the like the NPC monsters basically. Going to be using those rules and making them a bunch of mega gargants that you get cool stuff for killing. So that's going to be fun and interesting. Like, it's just going to be a wild game. We're not putting any restrictions either on army composition, so no minimum battle line, no maximum heroes, no maximum monsters. The only restriction I put on it is reinforcement points. Like, you get unlimited reinforcement points, but your max one reinforcement per unit and two if it's battle line. I just didn't want it to get too crazy. Like, I was kind of trying to discourage hordes a little bit, just to kind of keep the game going, because it, with that many people running that many points, if somebody decides to bring Skaven or Gits, like, we could be sitting there forever waiting for one person to take their turn. So, I mean, I'm really kind of angling at, like, everybody bring your monsters and your god models and your cool heroes and all of that stuff. So, that's the idea there. I'm going to try and record a bunch of stuff from the game. And, it's not exactly going to be a battle report. It's more just going to be a video of us being fucking ridiculous and having a good time. So that is something else you can look forward to. I mean, just life's been crazy lately. I mean, I guess kind of other life update for you guys. I think I probably talked about on the channel before that I got bariatric surgery back in December, and I'm down almost 60 pounds since then. So I don't know if you can tell that I'm looking a little slimmer than I used to be. I'm still making good progress on that. Weight loss speed has been not quite as much as I'd like it to be, but I mean, frankly, that has to do with a lot of my own choices. Like, I don't eat as well as I probably should be eating, and I definitely haven't been exercising up until, very recently. The weather hasn't been good, and I was really not interested in going outside when the weather was shitty. So yeah, that's basically where I'm at there. Hopefully going to be getting a lot more exercise in this summer. And, improving the diet situation, which oddly enough is, it's actually different, after, bariatric surgery than it is normally. Like, you really need to have high emphasis on protein, and, it's really like high protein, low fat, low carb. So it's not quite like a ketogenic diet, but it's similar. Keto is usually high fat as well, but this is definitely aiming at being lower fat. I guess I'm just sort of meandering around, chatting at this point. What I can definitely say from my experience with that is people need to take care of themselves. I feel so much better having lost weight. I know I'm going to continue to feel better. I have more energy. I do some more stuff with my kids. Um, you know, like, life in general is just better. I get chronic migraines, and my migraine situation has been better. My mental health has been better. Like, all of those things really interconnect, and I feel like weight loss in general has really dramatically improved my life in many ways, and it's going to continue to get better. Um, and I know, especially for Americans, like, obesity is just an epidemic, and um, and I've noticed particularly in the community of nerdy gamers, it seems like there's a higher percentage of people that are uh, in the obese category. And I really encourage people to do what they've got to do to lose weight. If you have done nothing, you know, do some research on diets and exercise plans that are going to be good for you. If you were like me and you've tried every diet under the sun and it didn't work for you, bariatric surgery is an option for you as well. Um, and it's definitely not something that I would say like, oh, everybody should just jump to having surgery. Like it's a long process. It is not an easy way out by any means. It is not a set it and forget it method of weight loss. Um, you know, People get the surgery and they lose weight and then they gain it all back because they don't take care of themselves. So it is what it really is a tool to help you lose weight if you're really struggling. Um, and it gets you it gets you moving in the right direction. It gives you a lot of education and assistance and support in helping you lose weight. And you know, I mean, I've been there. Going to the gym sucks for a lot of people. Like I get super bored in the gym. Like I just don't like it. Like my exercise has to be like getting outside and doing things. Like my best form of exercise is mountain biking. And I'm finally back down to a weight where I feel like I can comfortably get back on a bike and go out in the woods for a couple hours. So I'm excited to do that this summer. I haven't done it quite yet. I mean, I live in Connecticut, and we just kind of went from feeling very like late winter, early spring to like 2 straight weeks of 80-degree weather, like right away. So I've got to get my shit together and make sure my bike is in good shape. I need to get new shoes for biking. I think I need a new Camelback. I don't know. I just need stuff. Um, so yeah, I'm just kind of rambling about my life right now. I don't know how much anybody really even cares. Um, but you know, I've got a whole bunch of subscribers to this channel, and you know, hopefully something in my story helps somebody. Um, you know, it, People out there maybe just care about me and my life to a certain extent. So I just wanted to kind of share what was going on and try and set expectations. There was a while there that I was really going hard at um, channel content, and I was starting to get into stuff that was like my heart just wasn't in it. Um, you know, like doing like reviews of armies that I don't play, and just kind of making content for the sake of content, and I like that's just not right for me. Um I don't think I'm ever going to be somebody that's out there making a video every day. Um I I don't feel like I can put out videos that are going to have the content quality that I want if I'm doing something that often. Um, that's not to say other people that are doing frequent videos are putting out crap, because that's not true. I'm just saying that if I tried to put out videos every day, they would be crap. Um, so, um, yeah, that's just kind of where we're at, kids. Um, I don't know. I got a lot of painting to do. I really want to get back into hobbying more and gaming more. I signed up for the Nova Open narrative event, which I'm really excited about. It is a 4-day narrative that basically has like a DM, and um it's wild and crazy. Like they really make it pretty extravagant. So I've heard a lot of good things. I'm really excited for it. Looking forward to Holy Wars and Holy Havoc as well. I have a feeling that those 3 events are probably going to be like my main 3 events that I do every year for a while. I've been kind of shying away from GTs. Um, the big reason is like I think I kind of have a geography problem. Where I live, there's really not a lot of GTs near me. And um the big ones that are within driving distance are Du Bois in Rochester, New York, Atlantic City Open, and Nova Open. Those are the three really big ones that are within driving distance for me. And um, where Du Bois is in New York, if you're not familiar with the geography there, it is really close to the Canadian border. It's it's really close to Buffalo. It's close to Toronto. So and just by where people live, that tournament has become like this congregation of where um, the USA Worlds team and the Canadian Worlds team like get together at one tournament and compete against each other. And then you've got a lot of other top level players that are not necessarily on those two teams that are also just coincidentally living nearby so they can go to that event. Like a ton of the tough crowd guys are there. Um, you know, it, and then of course it's just kind of starting to become known as like this big competitive tournament. So like other people are flying in for it being a competitive tournament. Atlantic City Open, it's a frontline gaming event. Like it is designed to be super competitive. Um, and then Nova, again, it's a huge convention. It is in an easy to get to place. So it also attracts a lot of top level competition. And, I'm kind of getting to a place in my own kind of career, so to speak, with Warhammer where I'm not really gunning for the top tables. Like there was a little while there where I wanted to get really good. I wanted to be a better player. And I'm kind of at a point where I just want to play the armies that I like to play and the lists I like to play. And if it's like a narrative event or a narrative game or a Path to Glory league or something like that, like I have way more fun doing that stuff than I do, you know, going to a super competitive GT and, you know, like it just like getting kicked around. Because I'm not, unless it's like an accident, I am not going to be playing like a top metal list. So if I run into a player that's gunning for the top tables, then it's going to be a mess. Um, and because of just the nature of the events that are near me, a higher percentage of the attendees are gunning for the top. So, um, you can't even really kind of hang out in the middle tables and have fun like you can at a lot of other tournaments. There are some smaller local ones that I am going to be looking into. Experiment around with, if it's like a 30-person GT within like a couple of hours driving distance, can get away with one night in a hotel because, cost is definitely a factor too. Um, there's only so many hobby dollars to go around. So if I can, swing a couple of other things every year, um, I think the smaller GTs are probably going to be a lot of fun to do. That was really like some of my most fun GT experiences were at events that were a little bit newer and they were smaller. They were like 30 or 40 people and the competition wasn't crazy. So I'm kind of like, if I'm going to be in a competitive environment, that's the kind of competitive environment that I'm looking for. Um and other than that, like I'm super down for cool narrative events and fun events and leagues, and you know, just hanging out with people that want to have a good time. Like that's why I'm doing a mega battle in my backyard, and inviting a bunch of friends over, and we're going to be stupid and roll dice and eat barbecue and have drinks. And hey, cannabis is legal in Connecticut, so I'm sure some of that will arrive as well. And yeah, it's going to be a good time. As I said, I'm gonna record as much as I can to it's not going to be a battle report. It's going to be more of like a video, like a highlight reel of the day. Um, just grab the fun on camera as much as I can and share it with people. I think people need to do more stuff like that. Like there's there's a lot of Warhammer out there. There's a lot of content out there, and I feel like a lot of people are really just engaging with what's in the match play section of the General's Handbook, or in what appears to be the new format of the General's Handbook. They're just engaging with the General's Handbook and their battle tomes, and like that's it. But if you open up a book like Thondia, like there is so much shit in there, and it's really, really good. And um, I feel like people are just not taking advantage of it enough. Like there's this great content out there. Games Workshop clearly puts a lot of effort into their narrative content. And I think there's just not enough of a appreciation for it in the community, and I wish there was a lot more. And I am going to try and be a champion for that as much as I can be. Run narrative events if I can. Just go attend narrative events and try and recruit other people to come. Um, I almost didn't get into the Nova narrative event. I It sold out in like 2 hours or something like that, and for some reason I wasn't like available like right when tickets went on sale that day. So I was like 4 hours after ticket sales opened and it was sold out already. So I mean, I think that's kind of a good sign for the health of that event and other narrative events as well. Like the Holy Wars events always sell out. Um, Curious to check her out what Gibbering Dome is like at Adepticon as well. I heard it's kind of like a Path to Glory event. Curious to see how that goes. The US Open events, they're actually including Path to Glory events in those. The one in Seattle, they canceled because of low signups. Hopefully the other events, once they get the word out a little bit better that they're doing Path to Glory events alongside them, that more people will sign up and we'll get those events kicked off. Because I'm really curious what like having like the 2-day GT sort of format, but doing that with Path to Glory looks like from GW's perspective, like what they think that should be. Um, because I think there's a lot of good ideas we can pull for that. Like maybe there's shit we're missing that they were intending for us to see that we're just not seeing. And it would be great to just get more examples of how narrative events are run, especially when they are being run by the people writing the game. Um, the more I kind of look at what's going on, I feel like the Games Workshop folks that are writing all of the rules and everything, they clearly love the narrative portion of the game. Um, and they design tons and tons of stuff for that, and it feels like a lot of people ignore it. And I wish more people played it. Um, and I intend to change that. Anyway, guys, I have rambled enough for a while. It's been like a half hour of me just talking to the camera, and to be frank, I didn't even really have that much to say. I was just sort of rambling on with my thoughts. Um, AOS Worlds is next weekend, so good luck to Team USA and bad luck to everybody else in the world because USA's the best. Um, I know. I mean, I know a lot of people on Team USA, and it's a lot of fantastic people. So, um, I really do wish them the best. I hope everybody has a great time. It's going to be cool. It like even though like the high level of competition is not personally for me, I'm certainly going to still root them on, and very curious to see what the fallout of the event is, and what their metagame looks like, and what rises to the top. Anyway, that is it for now. I will talk to you all later. Hopefully, I'll be doing videos a little bit more often. Uh, but I'm not gonna lie. I'm not making any promises about that. I'm gonna do what I can. I do this for fun, in my spare time, and when it's not fun and I don't have time, it just kind of goes by the wayside. But that's okay. I know all of my subscribers just hang around anyway. My subscriber count doesn't go down, so um, I guess apparently people care. All right. Anyway, I'll talk to you all later.